You remind me, Dan, you talked about self-awareness. So often we don't ask ourselves the question, who are you as a leader?
Yeah.
Not who are you as the head of engineering, as the head of finance. No, no, no. Who are you as a leader? What are your values? Who are you as a leader? And what are you going to do to get better as a leader? You don't just say, "Oh yeah, hey, I'm a great leader because blah blah blah." No, who are you as a leader really, truly? And we don't ask ourselves that question. Why do you think we
Yeah.
don't ask ourselves that
I
question?
would ask the question differently, Jan. I would
Yeah.
say, how are you as a leader?
Oh,
Who are
yes.
you is what's your position. How are you is how do you actually operate with people?
Yes.
Some of our research is uh, sobering in that we find if you look at how people who know someone well rate a person on emotional intelligence and how that person rates themselves, the people who are worst at it rate themselves fine, but they have the most discrepancies with how other people see them. In other words, they're bad and they don't know it,
Yeah.
which means that, they may be in an exalted position in the organization. How they got there may have to do with politics, not with how they actually lead. And it may be that the people who work for them, their direct reports, are sending out resumes right and left because they can't stand that person. And as I said before, they would never say so.
Yes. Yeah. And we're not good at admitting mistakes. We don't like to do that in the auto industry because, we're very driven to the metrics and the numbers and the KPIs. And if we make a mistake, we don't really like to admit it. And this idea of showing vulnerability as a leader, it's taken a long time for that to catch on because the idea of the strong command and control leader is somebody who visually sits at the head of the table, controls the meeting,
Sure.
sets the agenda. And this idea of admitting a mistake, people are concerned that they will come across as being a weak leader if they do that. What would
So
you
you're
say to them?
describing, Jan, I think you're describing a judgmental culture,
Yes.
one that doesn't understand the value of thinking about mistakes and correcting them and doing better next time. If
Yes.
you never admit the mistake, then you're likely to have it again and again. If you say, "Oh, when that happened, that was a screw up. Let's think about how it won't happen the next time around." But in order to do that, you have to admit there was a mistake in the first place. On the other hand, it's a learning opportunity. My friend Peter Senge at MIT talks about the learning organization, about people learning to get better together. And as you're pointing out, the first step in that is admitting there's something here we need to learn.
Yes. Yes, most definitely. Well, we got a long way to go, Dan, in the auto industry. And there's a quote from your book, and it says this: "We will require a deep rethinking of systems we've long taken for granted." Your words, Dan. And that to me, there it is, right there. I think that is so powerful and so meaningful to the auto industry